Hi, I'm here with Economic Development Director Liz Jeffries on Meet the Leaders. All right, so my first question is what are the priorities of the Economic Development Director?
The priorities are sort of to look at the whole system of the economy and where Fanwood wants to go as a borough to be, the best and healthiest borough it can be.
Mhm.
So when you think about what that means for us in like main streets in Union County and areas along the Raritan Valley line, that's sort of taking advantage of your assets in a way that you can promote and garner investment and vitality.
Mhm.
So Family's been very effective in doing that, in that it has, used that pinnacle of its rail and really built a revitalized downtown where there really was none, hardly very little downtown in Family, a decade and a half ago. And now we have, a whole block of new stores and new living opportunities for people, and those things all fit together. The investment gives more to the budget to support things that our families want, recreation or police and fire. And when you have investment that then takes a property, let's say that pays $30,000 and then they pay $200,000, you can then spread that out in your borough to do better with your services and your budget, which is beneficial to everybody. And also in the areas where you can spur that kind of multifamily living in your town center, which is seen as a best practice in economic development. If you have a town center or you have a train, you should have possibly some more dense and multifamily living opportunities than just single family, because you take some of the tax relief off the single families and it also promotes your downtown. So those people are now shopping and dining and spending money in your downtown, which is critical to our retail because retail has struggled for 10 years or more after e-commerce got started. There's been a whole shift in what retail really means in downtowns. And Fanwood is consistently given awards for its planning, for how it's done things, and also what it's done. We typically have almost no vacancy in our retail, in our downtown. We've had a very good success record for what they've built and putting people to work. And we also try to help people do investment in their own properties. So Fanwood Clipper, for example, or Enchantments, they wanted to be part of the future. So they built above their store and became part of something. With our Lightbridge Academy and, Wonder Years or the Goddard School, they envisioned their space for childcare and they were helped. Fanwood Animal Hospital. In fact, we just had the ribbon cutting at Fanwood Animal Hospital because he so wanted to stay in Fanwood. He's beloved here. I think it's almost 75 years, 73 years he's here. And he was looking and trying to figure out how he was going to rebuild on his site because his facility was less than optimal. And he ended up finding a spot across the street and did a full adaptive reuse of another property. So we find that people who are in Fanwood love Fanwood and want to stay in Fanwood. So we try to encourage that, as well as, looking at where we can bring new people to live and new people to work and, keep our town vital. This is a very solid, charming, family-friendly town. It's very kind and it just has like a relaxed and caring culture at the same time as it's progressive, at the same time as you could have a new millennial go into one of the apartments, or you could have a downsizer who doesn't want to do house maintenance anymore that can stay in their community and take the rail to work, some of them if they need to. Fanwood kind of brings the whole mix now. It has opportunities for people to live here that isn't all home ownership and all the things that come with that. And then it has a lot of small town events still, whether it's Fanny Wood Day or, Earth Day or movies in the park. I think they try to keep things small town while still focusing on prosperity to a certain degree, because if you don't have some level of prosperity, you can't sustain yourself as a town. It's very, very difficult for towns. They have no revenue generators. They can't make a toll tax, or they have a very small piece of the land tax as a budget, and they have a lot of things they want to do for the community. So it's nice to be able to do both, and really mostly the towns on any kind of rail line have been able to do that through transit-oriented development and investment, and focusing on their town centers.
So, as the economic development director, what are your priorities?
So before COVID, and it still is to some degree the same, and maybe this is a good segue. So Fanwood was very successful at establishing a vision and a redevelopment plan for the downtown block. And then in 2016, they put forth, sort of a look at what happens in the commercial corridor. So we have a commercial corridor here that runs from Terrell Road, to down kind of by the old Jeffery by Sheilan's Fish Market now. That is the only place that we can allow for sort of new uses, commercial, multifamily. They only have this corridor for sort of new investment, and they're looking to make a lot of significant improvements here. It's not very walkable, connecting and using some of the vacant sites like Young's Paint, some of the properties that are not being utilized today, vacant properties, fostering some new investment in what's to happen at the A&P, trying to get a few more restaurants and eateries in town. So they have a desire to make a real walkable, vibrant South Avenue, the whole run connected, which is an important goal, and they put some things in place for that. An area needed rehabilitation, a new redevelopment area by Old South Avenue for the A&P, and then there are some small projects that will come along the way as well. So that it continues to be something that we manage well to get investment, which helps the town, but not, obviously there's not too much opportunity, but you want to manage that well. And then post-COVID, a small part of the role is to assist the businesses in Fanwood. So we have no business association anymore, and we don't have like a special improvement district or a SID like a lot of places do. So there's no, which has a salary and an extra tax on the businesses that they pay. So there is no special improvement district in Fanwood, and they really didn't have a very active, vibrant business association when I first came here in 2016. So as part of the economic development role, helping those businesses and helping them collaborate together and supporting them became a priority for the borough. And so we have business roundtables quarterly. We try to connect and collaborate. We try to manage events downtown where we can bring people in and give business support, help them to find support at Kane University Business Center or Union County Economic Development Corporation. So we do try to facilitate and support and help them in their operations and help promote business, Shop Small Saturday, Ladies Night, those kind of things. And then when COVID happened, everything became all-consuming, just trying to help navigate through the federal assistance, the payroll protection plan, that trying to navigate through the programs that were being offered at the state level, at the EDA, and even locally. The application process for those things is really stressful. And so helping and being available all the time to say, this is out, this is when the application's getting posted, this is what you need to do. And if you have questions or trying to connect people to the right folks, and even a little bit with unemployment, which isn't really a business direct resource, but it's hard to navigate even unemployment insurance. So I think we full stop, the mayor, council, everybody just was trying to help the businesses figure out where they could go for assistance and get into the pipeline for the assistance and just what was going to happen. And then when we began reopening, again, that presented a whole nother all-consuming type of work, because we wanted to help them. What did you need to have? What are the protocols for reopening? Here's where you need to find that. We wanted to expand the ability to do outdoor dining. We have a cafe license, a sidewalk cafe license that's for restaurants. That needed to be expanded to allow them to do a bigger area, because they were constrained by 6 feet, by distance between tables and the amount of people they could have. And then the retailer said, well, we would like to be outside a little if we can for people to pick up instead of going in. So, we had special council meetings so that we could revise the ordinance so that we would be ready with the provisions for them to be able to open up outside, whether it was retail or cafe. So I think the borough's done an amazing job of being ahead and really proactive in giving every kind of support. Even the new announcements that were made for grants, we were out there saying on Monday you got to go online, that's when it's going to be listed, or direct email or phone conversations with the businesses.
What do you find are the challenges of being the economic development director?
Everything is very complicated. Everything is very complicated today. It takes a lot, even just to try to do the interpretation of the loan programs for the businesses. It's very complicated. Or if somebody wants to put it, it's hard to tell somebody, no, I'm sorry, you can't do that. We only allow this. And you never want to tell somebody no. But there's a lot of regulations and a lot of different people that have input in what happens. So getting through all of the checkpoints that have to be done for any number of things is challenging, and just being able to be responsive in a time-sensitive fashion to people's needs, I think is one of the greatest challenges. Fanwood has a wonderful community. They really do. It's a wonderful community, and it's got a lot of positive. They're out in front a lot. It could be shared services. They're out in front doing shared services. It could be COVID response. We're out in front doing COVID response. So I think they do good government here, even though they're super tiny. And everybody really tries to go out of their way, whether it's a fire official or it's a business downtown. They try to go out of their way. So I would like to see people out more. I would like to see, it's hard in every community to get to say to your residents, you have to go downtown if you want to downtown. Every community has the same challenges. You have to, make it a priority to help, your restaurants and your businesses, and embrace new living opportunities and new communities. We do have new development, and I think people sometimes get nervous from that. But I don't think you see Fanwood as being overwhelmed or, in a chaotic situation. We have the benefit of really, really good investment here. And not every town can say that. There's a lot of towns that have people only on the way out because they don't have any vitality or creative placemaking or centers of town development going on or anything that gives them the vitality that they need to keep their stores and restaurants operating.
The next question is, what do you think is the most rewarding from being the economic development director?
Economic development is a very rewarding thing because you can see things that truly transform people's lives. So when you have 7 affordable units being placed downtown and you have people that are, perhaps not as advantaged socioeconomically, and they move into these amazingly beautiful townhome style duplex apartments in downtown, right in the heart of downtown, to go to the fabulous schools here, to be in the fabulous communities here, to see people mixed in, and to see how well the elderly are able to be in our apartments here and adapt to living here, and just to feel how much new opportunity that you're bringing and keeping a place like Fanwood vital, and being able to provide a stable government that people want to live here and want to work here and want to send their kids to schools here. I mean, we were just ranked number 5 in Union County by niche. Fanwood's not a giant town, and it has a small boroughs. Most of its employees, a lot of them are part-time. It does shared services. And, consistently we're ranked and rated so high for the quality of life. So that makes me proud as the Economic Development Director.
So those are all the questions I have prepared. But before we conclude the interview, is there anything you would like to say to the people watching this interview?
I would say that the times are challenging. And we should all just try and look for one way we can help toward the positive every day, because it is challenging. Back to school is going to be challenging. Our lifestyles are challenging right now, and there's a lot of positivity out there. I think it was really nice for Fanwood to recently be recognized as a wonderful, wonderful community, and pride of place is an important thing. So I would say try to be together, help each other, and look forward to embracing some change while being able to respect your organic greatness, because every town has an organic element that makes it great, and it's important that you not lose that. And Fanwood absolutely has it. It just has an organic great family friendly, just wonderful culture in its town.
Thank you very much for
Thank you.
coming onto the show. Thanks for tuning in to this interview. Tune in next time for more interviews with local leaders, exclusively on Tapped Into SPF.